good, Commanders fans? A quick video here just talking about Terry McLaurin being named to the top 100 list. This is his second year in a row, if I'm not mistaken, maybe third year in a row. I know last year he was on there, so very well deserved. They just announced that, so we'll see if any other Commanders are on the list. I think tomorrow night they're going to name more guys, like kind of day by day or whatever. That's how they do with the NFL Top 100. I know people don't get too invested in it. I try not to get too invested in it. I know the players pick the players put their opinion in there, and a lot of it's voting by the players. So I try not to get too invested. But it is good to see some of our guys being listed in the top 100 player list. Terry certainly deserves to be in there. I think you could argue him to be a top 60, top 50 player in the league if he gets consistent quarterback play, which is what we're hoping for Jaden Daniels coming up this year, and of course throughout his career to become a franchise quarterback. If he can finally get a franchise quarterback, if he can finally get that, then I think Terry can eclipse, 1,300 yards in a season, 1,400 yards in a season, seasons like that where a quarterback is able to hit him in stride and get him the football where he can get yak as well, get yak opportunities, and a good offensive coordinator too. That's huge too, because I don't think last year the offensive coordinator did a good job getting him the football or getting him getting him the football a lot. And, Sam had up and down times and whatnot. So if he can just get consistent quarterback play, this is what he's been able to do with inconsistent quarterback play, with backups in there, third string guys. Shout out to Heineke. Heineke had to come into play, and, just a quarterback carries. Carson Wentz was awful. Just a quarter, and Fitzpatrick, and rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. So all the quarterbacks he's gone through, not Cole McCoy, Case Keenum, going back to him. I mean, he's just seen so many guys. Kyle Allen. I'm blanking on some guys. There's so many guys. Garrett Gilbert. Alex Smith. Alex Smith was probably one of the better quarterbacks, or probably the top two quarterbacks, or maybe the best quarterback that he played with. You can argue about that too. And then Sam and Jacoby Brissett. So many guys, so many quarterbacks he's been through his time in DC. And he's not a powder. He's not a pounder or a whiner. A lot of stuff you see Brandon Ayuk doing, he's never done anything like that. Scrubbing the Instagram and scrubbing his social media, taking the team name out of his bio or anything like that, and put up posts and all kinds of stuff and going on rants to get a new contract. He never did any of that throughout the process. So Terry is just a stand-up guy and a captain, a leader of the team for sure. And I think he's gotten better every year, man. I mean, you look at the catch on Stephon Gilmore. I think that really helped put him on the map, too. He doesn't talk a lot of trash, stuff like that. And he does talk trash, but, you look at other receivers, like they do a lot of more of the dancing and stuff like that. And, Justin Jefferson, nothing wrong with that. But, or you look at A.J. Brown, who cries for the football all the time. And one thing I did not like about the list, they have Devontae Smith above him. And I like Devontae Smith for the Eagles. I think he's a darn good player. Don't get me wrong. But to put him above Terry McLaurin, to me, I just don't see it. I know it's more of a popularity contest, and he's had a good quarterback. He's had good quarterback play, or a quarterback that can get him the football, in Jalen Hurts. But Devontae Smith is at 90, and then Montez Sweat is at 82. I personally disagree with that, but I know Montez had a crazy year, like that second half of the year after he left us. And he was okay with us too. Like Montez was doing fine when he was with us. I know Montez did an interview and said he was upset that he got traded. He didn't want to get traded, which is, I guess, cool to hear, but it doesn't really matter now. But Montez Sweat is above Terry. Trevor Lawrence is above Terry McLaurin. Julian Love. Harrison Smith. Tyreek Woolen. I disagree with the Tyreek Woolen pick. Buda Baker. Chris Lindstrom. Hassan Reddick. Saquon Barkley. Tristan Wirfs. DK Metcalf. Derwin James, Montez Sweat, and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is at 81 right now for the top 100 list so far. But like I said, I think Terry. I would take Terry over Devontae Smith. But Devontae Smith's a good receiver, so I get why, because of the popularity, and he's on a team that has been winning games the past couple seasons. So I get that pick, but I think Terry's really good. And I think Jonathan Allen, he may be on the list. Jonathan Allen was 90. No, he was 52. On the list last year, so we'll see where he comes in this year. But Jonathan Allen had a way better year last year, like the year or 2022. John Allen had a really good year. 2023 was like a so-so year. Him and Deron Payne, they kind of had down years compared to what they've done. So he may drop to like 70 or something like that. I would think that for Jonathan Allen instead of him being 52. So he was above Terry last year. Terry was 97 and he was 94 last year, and now he went down to 97. But it's good to see him in there. So also I want to give a quick shout out to Prize Picks. I want you guys to get these picks in pretty quick because July 28th. I didn't make that catch there. But July 28th is the Olympics. The USA is going to play against Serbia, against Nikola Jokic. So they're Price is giving away a free square, LeBron James over a half a point. And then I want you guys to get this Terry McLaurin pick before the season starts. Over 925 receiving yards on the season. Terry gets 1,000 yards every single year. So I think that's really, really low. He should definitely get it with Jaden Daniels too. 1,002 receiving yards last year, 1,191. 1,053 in 2021, and then 1,118 in 2020. So 4 years in a row, he's gotten 1,000 yards. All he has to do is get over 925. I think that should be pretty easy for him. So make sure you guys use my promo code REALEDOliver for 100% deposit match up to $100. First-time users get that 100% deposit match up to $100 using the link down below in the description box. You put in my promo code. It's legal in VA in Virginia, but it's not legal in Maryland. So they need to get it legal in Maryland, but it's legal in Virginia. All right, so let's transition to Johnny Newton. So the rookies did report at minicamp. That was a couple days ago. I just have not been able to make a video, but I'm definitely going to get back in the swing of things with the season coming up. I know the vets report tomorrow, and then the first day of training camp is Wednesday. The Ravens have started their training camp. The Chiefs have started their training camp. So teams have already gotten to the full swing of things. But we start on Wednesday. So the biggest news really for the rookies reporting was Johnny Newton being placed on the non-football injury list, or the NFI list. And you look at the tweet by Ben Stanek. He says the Commanders placed second-round defensive tackle Johnny Newton on the NFI non-football injury list following his second foot surgery earlier this year. Lands on NFI since the injuries occurred in college / before the draft. Newton is eligible to join the main roster at any time. No immediate timetable for his return. So, yeah, I wouldn't panic on this, but it's just something to keep an eye on, something to monitor. For sure. Johnny Newton's so talented. Is this the reason why he dropped to the second round? He was supposed to be a first-round pick. He was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He gets a lot of sacks. He just has such a high motor. He's blocked kicks. The most impressive thing to me about Johnny Newton is how he blocked kicks. Like, that is so impressive to me. Of course he can get pressure, but it just shows the explosiveness of Johnny Newton, that he was able to block kicks. Like, that may not translate to the NFL. That might not have anything to do, but I just feel like that just shows the explosiveness and the timing and the way he can get off, like the snap. Like, you got to have great timing and a great vertical leap or timing or presence of mind or explosiveness to be able to block kicks. You have to have a knack to doing that. That is a skill to me. That is a skill. He had 2 block kicks last year. 2 block kicks as a defensive lineman. And you look at the pressure. He plays a lot of snaps, too. Like, he's a guy that can give Jonathan Allen a break, Deron Payne a break. He has good pass rushing moves. He knows how to use his hands. He has good technique. He has counter moves. Like, he is supposed to really be our steal of the draft. He really is. I think, other than Jaden Daniels, you could argue he was our best pick. I know we didn't get an offensive tackle. We did get Brandon Coleman. But I think Johnny Newton, I think he was probably the most talented. Other than Jaden Daniels, I think he has the highest ceiling out of all the guys that we picked. You look at Ben Sinnott, too. I think a lot of those guys have high. Mikey Sanders still. But Johnny Newton has a chance to really make a huge impact. If he's healthy, if he's able to play a rotation of Deron Payne, John Allen, and Johnny Newton, that's a nasty, nasty, nasty rotation of getting to the quarterback. And the worst pressure that a quarterback can face is interior pressure. So those guys are wreaking havoc, stopping the run, and putting pressure on the quarterback, getting sacks, getting there. Johnny Newton has a chance to be a nasty, nasty defensive player. And Dan Quinn has a plan for him. Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they certainly have a plan. But the concern is this a reason why he dropped? Because not only did he have surgery on the foot that he did injure, then he had another surgery on the other foot. So, I know there's PTSD with some of the other picks that we've had, like Fedarian Math. He's way more talented than Fedarian Math is coming in. He's just a way better pass rusher. Has more technique and more moves to get to the quarterback. But, just looking at previous history, I noticed the previous regime and stuff like that. Like Sadiq Charles, he was never able to really get right. He did play a couple games. Bryce Love, they drafted him with the torn ACL. Like I said, I know it's a previous regime, but Not going to compare him or anything like that. And Darius Geis was never really able to get right with all the knee injuries and stuff like that. So we've seen young guys get injuries and they haven't been able to bounce back. But I think there's an opportunity for this to be different with Jer'Zhan Newton. And Cole Turner had that setback where he got injured in camp. So, we've seen young guys get injured and, kind of has affected their careers, going forward. So, but I think Johnny Newton is going to be super talented. Had a 91.8 PFF grade since 2022, second among Power 5 DTs. So I'm not going to go down all the stats and whatnot, but that was really the biggest news. And then Sam Hartman was signed or drafted by the what was it called, the Birmingham something, the UFL team. So I think he the write up on that is that if he doesn't make the roster, then he may join that UFL team. We'll see. The Birmingham Stallions drafted Sam Hartman. So if he doesn't make the roster or something like that, then he could join the UFL team later on. But I think if anything, worst case scenario, he makes the practice squad. So if Hartman doesn't secure a spot on the 53-man roster or the practice squad, he could play in the spring for Birmingham, who now hold his UFL rights, and that's a long time from now. I think even if he doesn't make the roster here, I think another team would be interested in picking him up on the practice squad. So I don't think he'll play for the UFL team at all. I think he's going to be on this team and on the practice squad. I think Cliff Kingsbury or whoever made the decision, Adam Peters, they signed him as a UDFA for a reason. We'll see how he plays. He does have to play up to par. If he plays terrible in the preseason, then we'll see. We do have the other guy. What's his name? Jeff Driscoll. He could make the practice squad, so who knows? So I guess that could be an alternative for Sam Hartman if he doesn't make the roster. It would be Jaden, Marcus Mariota, and then maybe Jeff Driscoll would be the third guy, and then Sam Hartman would be your practice squad guy. That's probably how it's going to shake out. Jake Fromm, they released him, but maybe Sam Hartman could be the third guy. Maybe he could beat out Jeff Driscoll, and Jeff Driscoll would be the practice squad guy. So either way, I don't see Sam Hartman not being a part of the roster. So, but all right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here, and then tomorrow I'll do a couple of training camp battles, just previewing training camp eve. It's time, guys. It's getting really, really real. It's almost time, man. It's almost time. All right, guys. Health Commanders. Peace.